The governmental palace of the tiny Republic of San Marino becomes an impromptu fortress surrounded by communist sympathizers. Here, the red-dominated government, defeated in a recent election, is holed up, guarded by police. They refuse to give up power. Finally, a group of newsmen is allowed through the cordon of police to question members of the red hierarchy. At a conference, foreign attempts to justify his government stand. 10 miles away, in a factory building near the Italian border, the duly elected government holds forth, recognized by the United States and Italy.
All right, everybody. Tonight we have a Midwest League match, a pretty important one for two Team Illinois members. Frank currently sitting at 1-1, kind of on the edge of the playoffs, and Jeremy sitting at 2-2, also on the edge of the playoffs. So still a little over halfway through the midpoint of the season, but big game for both players. So you'll be able to see Jeremy's hand up top, and Frank's on the big screen. And looks like Jeremy's got himself some D cards and some 4-ups. And I'd say I would very much like to have that hand in my games. And Frank has... Yeah. I think that's just a defector's headline from Frank. And Jeremy probably doesn't want to risk a D card in the headline, so I'm guessing that might just be a Cambridge headline. But, oh no, Jeremy does get frisky and gets decal defected. Alright, so now we're going to see a nice big old NATO coup. Perfect. Just wiping out Iran. Okay, Frank goes with the standard Egypt-Malaysia play. He doesn't know that Jeremy does not have Suez, but getting out of Israel. Kind of important there. Yeah, with all these ops Jeremy has, he has a lot of options. I don't think I'd coup again. And he reached for... What did he reach for? I can't remember what card was sitting there. Oh, he reached for D-stall. Jeremy D-stalling at DEF CON 4? This is going to be a very interesting game. Oh, he puts it back. Oh, he is going to coup again. He's going to coup Panama with a 5. Well, that's fun. All right. Frank. Is he going to coup for his Millops, or is he going to spread into Thailand here? He's got to be thinking that D-Style is in hand with the 2 coups. He just doesn't have a lot of ops to work with. He's got to deal with lots of annoying cards. This one is not so annoying, but it is going to give Jeremy some fuel for D-Style. Alright, Frank is going to keep DEFCON high. Going back and forth between Libya and Lebanon. I mean, he's got to get to Libya at some point anyway. But Lebanon makes some sense, though. I don't know. Anyone in the chat think he should have gone to Libya there with the extra op? Jeremy's just going to keep cooing. Alright, he should have gone to Libya with the extra op. I'm calling it now. Although, truthfully, then that would have been Libya at 2. But at least he'd still be in Egypt. Frank would. Alright, considering getting rid of de Gaulle. Going into Egypt isn't a bad play here. We'll force Jeremy to take Libya. Yeah, with this hand, Frank, there's not a lot Frank can do to be threatening. Okay, and if you missed it in the chat, Frank and Jeremy are playing a 1-hour game. Default timer in Midwest League is 90 minutes, but a lot of the more experienced players prefer quicker games. Yeah, Justin, I was really confused when you said Angola was getting outed. I wasn't sure if, like, it was, like, gay and just not telling anybody or what, but Good makes more sense. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, blockade is out there, so holding de Gaulle for blockade makes sense. And here's D-style. Not what Frank wanted to see. Okay, seems pretty standard given the position of the board. Doesn't go directly into France because he doesn't know where Truman is. And de Gaulle immediately comes out now. Jeremy gets to finish off with another one of his shiny 4-ups. This one with a little taste of a UN intervention with it. Alright, takes the domination, gets into Pakistan. Makes sense. And yeah, I mean, he could go to Burma, threaten India. It's a risk of losing France, though, if we see Socialist or Suez come out. But he only has one up to play with anyway, so I think this makes sense. Alright. Truman's a nice draw for Frank, with Europe scoring in hand. Over on Jeremy's side, he gets another 4-up with Purge. He gets Asia scoring, so no Middle East before the reshuffle. So maybe a Purge incoming. We still haven't seen Blockade, so Jeremy thinking that maybe Frank might have Blockade in his hand, so Purge would make sense. For Frank, I feel like Truman would make the most sense. Special relationship, he'd be worried about Suez. He's hovering over special relationship, so maybe he isn't worried about Suez. Alright. I mean, luckily, Jeremy does not have Suez, so this special relationship will be fulfilled. I just realized when I play team games or broadcast team games, I have headphones on, so there's not like feedback from the other voices. There are no other voices right now. I'm just wearing headphones that are currently playing nothing in my ears. Just keeping my ears warm, I guess. Alright, special relationship versus Asia.
This means a special relationship between the British Commonwealth and Empire.
Alright, Asia makes sense. It's going to be tough for either player really to get domination there, but Frank probably had the inside path. Independent Reds coup of Egypt. Oh my. Jeremy is rolling tonight. He before the stream was talking about an async game that his opponent was rolling like this. So Jeremy very much enjoying these rolls. Okay, Frank bringing out the big gun already. Yeah, I like stepping into Algeria here. Yeah, very red board right now, as Justin so aptly pointed out. Alright, nice scoring for Frank. VP track gets into the blue range. I wonder if Jeremy's trying to hold Purge. He doesn't need all the ops this turn, and again, we haven't seen Blockade yet. I like the Saharan step there. That may be Mexico, or maybe stepping into Jordan. Yeah, this is fine. Very red Egypt right now. So that's going to make a mess of that at some point.
A scene that typifies the national rejoicing over the so-called liberation. Colonel Nasser, Egyptian leader and hero of the moment, is mobbed as he tries to make his way through Port Said.
Yeah, fair point from Justin. Like, right now, there's nothing for Jeremy to coup next turn. And we're going to eventually step in to Nigeria here and give him something to coup. But I'm assuming you go to Cameroon too to kind of protect it with realigns potentially. And you've also set up realigns on Algeria. So, I don't know. I think I still like the Saharan play. Justin, you're wrong. Yeah, Middle East is not going to be a great scoring. Okay, duck to space. Yeah, I think you got to step into Cameroon here if you're going to commit to holding Nigeria. Yeah, I guess that makes sense if you're giving up Vietnam. Well, maybe he's not giving up Vietnam, though. Well, no, it makes sense. Usually you want to get your own cards back in the deck, but 5-year plan might be an exception to that. Yeah, so Vietnam. I don't know about the Pakistan poke. Like, I really like getting one in Cameroon to protect Nigeria a little bit. Okay. Alright, Justin, you're right again. He shouldn't have gone to Saharan states. Alright, so Frank gets an Asia scoring redraw, which he's probably happy with his little Pakistan adventure. Jeremy, though, redrew Indo-Pak. Also has Red Scare and Blockade. Yeah, Middle East scoring is known, so this makes sense. I would think Jeremy's got to be going for Purge here. Yeah, and that's what Frank is expecting. I mean, he did redraw NATO, so he could give that to Blockade. Luckily, he didn't get, like, Decal or something in this hand. Oh, he goes with Indo-Pak. Interesting. Well, he knew he was going to hit a 5, so... Oh, man. That's pretty rough. Especially with Frank holding and Asia scoring. Also rough. Alright, once again, Justin, you were right. He should not have gone to Saharan states.
British Commonwealth and Empire and the United States of America.
Yeah, Justin, I already told you you're right twice. You don't have to rub it in. I was also very surprised with the no purge headline. I mean, the Indo-Pak paid off, but yeah, purge would have been pretty brutal. I'm not offended, Justin. I told you were wrong. And you were not wrong. You were very much right. No, for Justin, it's like 9:30. It's like crazy late. Oh. Yeah, I think he's already seen the writing on the wall in this game and just wants it to end so he can go to sleep. But yeah, you're right. It's 8:30. He doesn't have kids. Like, suck it up, Frank. Oh no. All right. Well, eventually got there. It's a lot of relines, though. I'm thinking he was hoping to use some of those in the Americas. I think Frank has won games. I don't know if I've witnessed it, but I'm pretty sure Frank has won games. Okay, fun fact: Frank, I believe, is the highest ever ITSR ranking player from Team Illinois. He was in the top 10 not that long ago, just a couple of months ago, I think. And things have gone poorly since then. Oh yeah, JR, I think you started this disastrous streak now that I think of it. Actually, JR, aren't you pretty close to the top 10 at this point, if not in the top 10? I truthfully have not paid that close attention to ITSR because my own ranking is very, very shameful. Yeah, I think Frank was worried about a hold a purge there. All right, 2022 is very impressive. So you basically replaced Frank. Yeah, lone gunman is not a problem if you don't have any battlegrounds. It's the one small silver lining of getting crushed in the battlegrounds. Duck to space again. And gets a VP that time. Yeah, Frank's gonna need a lot to go his way. And it is Twilight Struggle. CIA's still out there. There are things that can happen. This does not look like a good board. Yeah, I think a realign makes sense here. Makes sense, but doesn't work.
Ever since King Michael of Romania came to the throne in 1927, he's been in the forefront of European news. He was then a boy of 6, having succeeded King Ferdinand after Carol had been exiled. 3 years later, Michael's father returned to Romania and was proclaimed king. His rule lasted for 10 years until in 1940 he abdicated in favor of his son. Michael was now 19 years old, and the next piece of dramatic news was his arrest of the pro-German Antonescu. We see him here later, attending a Russian celebration in honor of the Soviet Army's 28th anniversary. And this year he came to London to attend Princess Elizabeth's wedding. His engagement to Princess Anne of Bourbon-Parma was announced only a short time before his abdication.
So it looks like Jeremy's going to be holding blockade for the mid-war. entertainment here. Alright, Germany poke, making Venezuela VOA proof. So yeah, you gotta take that back, and yeah. That'll make sense. And Frank holding 5-year plan, hoping he can get some discard stuff going and maybe force a DEFCON. So, we're not going to see the game end this turn. Interesting headline choices here. I don't know if you go Bear Trap to get a coup or Defectors. Try to hit something good. I don't know if I'd headline Brush War. Brush War is going to be there for you. I would maybe go Bear Trap and hope you get some luck and Jeremy gets caught for a little while. Jeremy's side looks like he's leaning Defectors. Or, Decal. Which will, for the second time this game, get Defectored. Battle of the D-cards. If you're Jeremy, I mean, you could take a coup of Mexico and risk 3 lines. Could maybe even do Lib Theology here to threaten to outright take Mexico. That leaves you vulnerable to a coup, but I don't know if Frank would be willing to just give up Mexico and central control. I mean, he might with Brush War in hand. Hey, Jeremy does reach for liberation. And he puts it back. And just now noticing, Frank doesn't really have a good 3-op to hold for blockade. This is a known blockade. Alright, just going with a traditional coup. And a traditional 6. I was thinking of Venezuela there. I'm guessing Frank's going to keep holding 5-year plan until he gets grain sales in his hand. I don't know, maybe... Yeah, I was going to say, I think he realigned before. Okay. That went better than the previous Algeria realigns. Okay. Something. mean, he would have, if he would have wiped Jeremy out of Cuba, then he would have been greeted with liberation theology. Alright, gonna fix Cuba or take Algeria? Fix and protect Cuba. Alright, you gotta take... Oh! Algeria's just kind of sitting there.
The line of demarcation is well established.
I mean, Jeremy can take a 3-up and take Algeria and protect Cuba. I don't know if I agree with the coup there. No, he's just going to go back. Alright, Frank is not going to hold 5-year plan. Yeah, very full board on turn 4. Every battleground outside of Iraq and Saudi is... Oh, and Japan are spoken for. Alright, so Frank needs this brush war to hit, and then needs a little bear trap block. Nice overprotected Panama. Seems like a good brush war target. You got this, Frank. I believe in you. You can do it. Oh, he goes for Venezuela and hits it. Yeah, JR, so for some people, brush war actually works. I don't know how they do it, but apparently it's a thing. NORAD for influence.
NORAD is the North American Aerospace Defense Command.
And it's located
All right, Willie to coup Colombia.
Colorado.
It's an alliance between the United States and Canada to secure the skies over North America.
The command center here at Cheyenne Mountain was constructed in order to provide a protected command and control facility.
What officials ultimately
That blockade is still known.
side of the mountain.
It truly is
Okay,
an
nuke subs
amazing
to space. Frank, I think, is okay with that. I think we're going to see a one small step. All right. Everyone is very confused. We'll have to ask Frank after the game how brush war succeeds. Alright. Liberation theology, very annoying. AR-7. But I think Frank's still going to go with the bear trap. Oh, holy scoring cards. Alright, at least 2 of them are good. Alright, on Jeremy's side, he has a nice quagmire to get rid of NORAD, although Canada isn't taken anyway. And Jeremy could headline Brezhnev. That gives him 2 decent cards to feed to Bear Trap. I don't know if that's worth it, but if he fails the first bear trap roll with Colonial, doesn't really have anything else good to give. But yeah, he's going to go with Quagmire. I think you have to headline one of the scorings here. I think, yeah, Europe makes the most sense. Goodbye, NORAD. Hello, Europe. And let's see Jeremy's first roll. He fails on Colonial. And Frank is out. Alright, things are starting to go Frank's way. But if Jeremy gets out here with arms race, which he does, what do you do? Because you're risking giving up Mexico now. Okay. Yeah, and luckily, Jeremy doesn't have Central. Frank obviously doesn't know that. But you two, though, like, Blockade is still in Jeremy's hand. That might have been the card to give to Blockade. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, South is not getting better. What's he thinking with Salt? Getting Brush War back? Tempting the gods once again? I feel like you should maybe score before doing this. I don't mind this, but you have some obligations. Justin, I agree with you this time. I'm going to agree with you from now on because you were right last time. Yeah, I think he should have scored before playing Salt. Oh, Jeremy is toying with the China card here. This could really come to bite Frank. We're about to see a China card coup in Thailand or something. Alright, he put it back. Jeremy came to his senses. Alright, gets the extra U2 VP. And we see a coup of... Alright. Get that scoring out of your hand. Or I guess you could drop DEFCON first. Yeah. Get yourself a little coup of Zaire or something. Yeah, just a little itty bitty coup. Just a little bit. Yep. Alright, now he's got to be careful here to make sure he plays these scorings. He played Salt. He has 3 ARs left, so 2 of those ARs need to be scorings. Might be holding that Brush War for another day, or at least another turn. Oh, That could have been worse. That's all right. Fence Panama Canal. It's nice to have that in hand. All right, now you got a score. Note, JR. There are only 2 ARs left. Do not do Southeast Asia, brush, and score. That would not be good. Salt has fooled many a Twilight Circle player. Alright. Held blockade to use it for the 1 influence point. No! No, Frank! Don't listen to JR! No! No! Don't do it! Don't do it, Frank. No. This game isn't lost. It's alright, there you go. Yeah, 2 ARs. 2 ARs. Alright. He almost did it. He caught himself, everyone. There we go. Alright, that was a close call. Yeah, Justin, I think the only problem with your Ursuri idea is we hadn't seen Blockade played yet. So Frank would have had to give Brush War to Blockade. Or I guess he could have just not discarded too, with Europe already scored. Oh, and you just typed what I just said, basically. So there we go. All right, score again. This one a little nicer. All right. Oh, we get some every power card. That's some power cards. All right, and Jeremy gets Africa scoring. He gets CIA. And not a lot else. OPEC is 3 VPs right now. So what to do with ABM? Some juicy targets in Africa. Central, things are unfortunately overprotected. And you do have Brush War for Panama. So yeah, maybe you do target Africa here. Alright, Jeremy gets his 3 VPs, unless Frank decides to coup something in the Middle East, which wouldn't necessarily recommend. Oh, he goes for Mexico. Okay. I don't know what I think about that. I mean, maybe I'm biased because I know that Jeremy has Africa scoring. And Central scoring could have almost been an auto loss. Alright, well now he gets to see things. Now maybe he can get his Zaire coup. Yeah, I think you gotta go for Zaire here. Oh, jeez, that's so frustrating. Although if Jeremy doesn't take Zaire back, if he pushes for Mexico, you could puppet into Zaire. I don't know if that's worth it, though. Yeah, Zaire's been holding strong there as a communist country. Yeah, you know he doesn't have Central now. So I think it's okay to puppets here. And actually, you can block the Africa domination with non-battlegrounds. And maybe put one in Sudan for good measure. I don't know where else you're going to be putting these. Alright, expecting we'll probably see a coup in Africa now. Maybe Latin American death squads. Oh, instead he reaches for Marshall Plan. What's he gonna do with that? I guess take Mexico and then take his Africa domination back? Oh no, he couldn't do that. He only has access to one stab country in Africa. He needs 2 non-battlegrounds. Oh yeah, Marshall could be a flip of Zaire. That would make sense. Yeah, Marshall flip of Zaire makes a lot of sense. Or he does what I thought he wasn't going to do.
Our policy is directed not against any country or doctrine, but against hunger, poverty, desperation, and chaos. Its purpose should be the revival of a working economy in the world, so as to permit the emergence of political and social conditions in which free institutions can exist. Such assistance, I am convinced, must not be on a piecemeal basis.
And now you gotta protect Zaire
developed.
from a flip, although you know he doesn't have another 4-op unless he plays China.
Should
Oh,
provide a cure
sure.
rather than a mere palliative. Any government that is willing to assist in the task of recovery will find full cooperation, I am sure, on the part
Yeah,
of the
this
United
is
States government.
interesting
Any
Africa
government which
play here.
maneuvers to block the recovery of other countries cannot expect help from us.
Yeah, I mean, do you brush knowing Africa's in hand? And you're holding Ask Not to hopefully get Central. Oh, yep, as Justin just said. Yeah, just ignore Central now. Focus on Africa. Okay, I think I like this, because Justin's not going to score now. He's not going to coup. So you do this, you take your brush war shot. And apparently Frank knows how to make brush war hit, so you get your domination. Okay, lads to take back Mexico and get his Africa domination. Alright, now if the brush war fails now, then Jeremy gets the domination. But if you coup Sudan, Jeremy's just gonna coup it back or coup one of the one state. Oh, he rolls a 1. Okay, there's the typical brush war. And there's Africa scoring. That's the brush war we all know and love. I wouldn't play Korean yet. Actually, I might even space Korean. Or coup Guatemala. What do I know? Alright, well, at least the war doesn't hit. Alright, a whole lot of influence taken out of Egypt. Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. He went for Angola with the brush war? Oh, he went for Mexico? Yeah, I don't understand that either. I mean, he knew Africa was in hand. He's holding Asknot. Yeah, I don't get it. And this junta I would maybe play on AR7. Although that reline really worked out. It might have been Mexico. I didn't see what he actually targeted. I just saw the 1. I mean, I assumed it was Nigeria. I just didn't see it. Big ol' summit coup of Colombia. It's kind of annoying, actually, for Frank, but he is going to focus on getting central domination after so many turns of worrying about central control. I mean, that region did swing about 8 VPs, so those 2 VPs aren't nothing. Oh, the inactive R-Man. What are we doing here? Oh, Colombia. I guess that would make sense. And 6 makes sense as well. All right. So Jeremy has a known grain sales. He has missile envy, but I guess it's safe to play from his end because he has We'll Bury You. Yeah, I was gonna say, this is a pretty decent hand, actually. Maybe this is a hand where you try to hold Kennedy again. Steal a China card with Nixon. Oh, VOA and Central would be good. Not much you can do with Asia and VOA. Alright, headline of VOA. Does VOA in Asia? Oh, I guess if you take out all the battlegrounds, it would get you Dom. Yeah, that's an interesting play too. Che. Alright, so there goes the central Dom.
Está plasmada y resumida en el grito que día a día nuestras masas proclaman como expresión irrefutable de su decisión de lucha, paralizando la mano armada.
I don't know about this VOA.
Proclama que cuenta con la comprensión y el apoyo de todos los pueblos del mundo y especialmente del campo socialista encabezado por la Unión Soviética. Esa proclama es Patria o muerte.
Oh yeah, if he is going to play Kennedy here, then I guess it doesn't matter. I feel like Angola, though. Hands of Queen Zaire. You're not really going to step into Angola. Guess you could, but you can get realigned. I kind of like the Asia idea. Libya is reasonable. Yeah, I think I agree with Justin holding Kennedy. His hand isn't that bad. Actually, it's not bad. Central could flip here. Alright, so he takes out Libya and Brazil.
Aus Amerika im Krieg. Unsere Stimmen kommen zu Ihnen aus New York.
This is a voice speaking from America.
A voice from America at war.
Our voices are coming to you from New York, across the Atlantic Ocean to London.
Alright, he's not going to coup, he's going to take back Brazil.
Today,
and
America
do a little
has
pokey
been
poke.
at war for 79 days.
Daily at this time, we shall speak to you about America.
Why is he reaching for
and
Nixon?
The war. The news may be good or bad. We shall tell you.
I feel like you have to event Nixon. I don't think this is the time to event it. Why is he cooing? Alright, someone explain to me why you would play Nixon. Not for the event this turn. Okay, this is better. Roll a 6. Easy. So Jeremy, the only big card he has left is US-Japan. It's the only card he has that can take Panama. And that's what he's going to do. Now, annoyingly, he steps into Egypt. Hand's getting, even though there's good cards in here, it is getting a little tricky for Frank. Oh, JR brings up a very good point. With missile envy in hand, Kennedy might get stolen. Yeah, that would be rough. I mean, Allende and Asia scoring are unknown. But Jeremy knows there's no chance of DEFCON with missile envy. So, yeah, very decent chance he events it. Here we go. Yeah, that's rough. That's not good. Oh. Oh, Frank wasn't even card tracking. Very disappointing. Yeah, like the game wasn't going great for Frank, but yeah, holding Kennedy and surviving this turn, there were paths there. These paths are very much closed. I mean, you might as well score something now. Okay, so Jeremy's got Camp David, Gunman, and Decal left. Decal probably a very annoying AR7 play. Alright, yep, just score your central. and steal that China card. And grain sales is gone now. CIA is gone. But Europe is still a thing. No, I guess the Pope is okay too, but... Okay, oh my, Jeremy's hand. Got Purge, Brush War, Terrorism, One Small Step, Junta, Duck and Cover. Not so nice. Okay, Gunman is going to see that nice Africa scoring. Yeah, I don't even know if you coup with Gunman here, seeing Africa. I think you just place and then coup with a bigger card to ensure you get Zaire. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you have Algeria to take too. I think he is going the whole coup with a bigger card route though. Not that much bigger, but should do the job. So Frank's in a bit of trouble. You'll all be happy to know I just caught a fly with my bare hand. Real, like, Mr. Miyagi moment here. I've never been more proud in my entire life. Thank you, JR. I'm now holding a fly. This is disgusting. I will be right back. Alright, let's see what I missed. Oh, I think I missed Frank undoing a couple moves. It is important to note that flower power is in effect, so Iran Iraq would trigger that. Unless he decides to vent Evil Empire first. Alright, this could be game here. Nope. Brush War. Once again, behaving like Brush War. Frank trying to coup his own country. Instead opts for Cameroon. I agree with that. Guessing we will just see Justin cooing Saharan states here. Get a little coup war going on. I mean, he could even event... Oh, well, no, he can't event Yuri and Samantha because Frank controls the scoring. Oh, did I say Justin instead of Jeremy? Those J names always get me confused. Alright, so JR coups Saharan states. Frank coups it right back. So it's coups too? I thought it was just brush war that you have trouble with. Alright, yeah, this... Not looking good for Frank here. This Africa is probably going to be the end of him. Yeah, he's running out of things he can do here. And with Jeremy knowing he has the scoring, makes it even harder to pull off this Africa. Alright, hero realigns. Away we go. Oh no. Oh yes! Alright. I did not realize how much Zaire was surrounded there. Frank doesn't know when to quit. Though Jeremy does have one more 4-up to be a bully with. Jeremy carefully checking Frank's hand. Yeah, if he busts into Algeria, Frank's just going to take it back. That's what he's going to do. Oh, but is he really going to use terrorism or junta to poke it? I mean, I guess you would. Because then you either get the VPs from Flower Power or you get the China card back. Okay, I think you take the even scoring. Yeah, take the even scoring. Don't push for domination. You have to play a bad card to do it anyway. Alright, Frank survives. Eventually, when he commits this. Oh, he's gonna go for it. I don't know about that. Oh, that doesn't even get him domination. No, don't do this. Don't do this. Just score. Just score. Just, no. Alright, there we go. There we go. He settles on the good decision. Alright, so Jeremy or Jason or Justin or JR, George with a J, is either going to play terrorism here. I don't think he'll play junta. It seems like something you want to save for headline next turn. Alright. understanding the importance of Europe right now. So I think you just space. And roll low. Okay. Interesting hand. And Jeremy has Middle East scoring in his hand. And he also has OPEC. And he reaches for OPEC as quickly as he can. And that's not even a win yet, but Frank thought it was. It's going to be a win in a second when he scores the Middle East. But all right, well, rough game for Frank. He hung on much longer than I think anyone expected. But that puts him at 1-2. I mean, 2 losses can still get you in the playoffs potentially, but he's got to go on a bit of a winning streak here. Jeremy now at 3-2, much better spot for the playoffs with just 3 games remaining. So we will see how it goes. All right, so thanks for watching our game live tonight. Next week we will have Jeremy's final OTSL match, where I believe he needs a win to make the playoffs. So have a good night, everyone.